Welcome to the course Production Logistics. Let's start with lecture number 1, Introduction to Materials Management. We already discussed the syllabus, so let's continue with the first subject matter at hand, Materials Management and Wealth, or in other words, why is materials management, why is the subject of production logistics relevant for us? I tried to start all the lectures in this course with some learning goals. These are learning goals on the lecture level. So what should you be able to, what should you know, what should you be able to do after you successfully studied these lecture slides. You can find these learning goals at the beginning of most of my lectures. And for today's lecture, the successful student should be able to explain the connection between wealth and production. Explaining means you can tell a person that is not involved in this area about this connection between wealth and production, and then this person is able to understand this. So it does not mean just memorizing some facts and presenting these facts to a foreigner. It means that this person really understands the concepts. The second learning goal is you're able to discuss the factors that impact the operating environment. Of course, a discussion involves being able to identify positive and negative arguments. And you're able to characterize the most important manufacturing strategies. Characterizing means describing something in detail. Let's start with our first question. What is wealth? You already answered this question in your macroeconomics course. So one very popular way by economists to measure wealth is the gross domestic product, or GDP. It is defined, or one way to define it is the value of the output of goods and services produced by a country. So where does this wealth come from? On the one hand, every country, every nation is given a set of natural resources. These resources can be, for example, oil, farmland, forests, mining activities to get useful minerals out of the ground, but also the people that live in the country and their qualification. On the other hand, we do something with these resources. We combine these resources in a clever way to add more value. This is called transformation. And this transformation process is extremely crucial in order to create wealth. You can see this as an example. Look at the countries like Japan and Germany. Both countries have very little natural resources. Yeah? In Germany or Japan, there's almost no oil. Germany had some coal, which was important before the World War II and for some years after World War II, but now these resources are gone. These natural resources are gone. Though we were forced to focus on the transformation process, on the production process, on the recombination of resources in order to create added value. And this was very successful for Germany or Japan because both countries are among the biggest economies in the world after the United States and China. And because this production process, this recombination or transformation process is so important, of course, to get most of our resources, we want to make this process as efficient as possible. And studying production logistics or materials management is able to answer some of these questions and tries to contribute to make this production process as efficient as possible. Let's skip these exercises because this lecture is recorded, and let's continue with the operating environment.